We have a lot of Cylons. Alkia and I can't get off planet without this base being taken out. They captured our Vipers.
Oh, then how? You borrowed the Cylon's transmitter.
Well, I didn't think they'd mind.
Halt, human.
Laser fire. With the change, and hope John approves it. Are you on the script approval too?
Pardon?
I was asking Andy if he's on the script approval too. It's a real small change.
So much suffering. I could have stopped it.
Orin, the butcher's bill was high today. Their fear and despair.
Here's the change. We switched around a couple lines. In a strange way, Ibley did us a favor. What we found on the planet below is proof that this war is an outpost, that this was an outpost of the 13th tribe. What they left behind here shows that we are the inheritors of a greater legacy than we could have imagined.
How is our newest refugee doing?
Mark?
Yeah.
He's settling in quite nicely. Gideon almost has him convinced that the Seraphim left him on the planet just so he could be here when we needed him.
Who's to say he wasn't? What about Alkia?
Alkia? She tried to have me killed. I figured that should have her buying my drinks at the officers' club for a sectime. She's a good warrior.
Fleeing the Cylon tyranny, the last Battlestar Galactica
Continues to lead a ragtag fugitive fleet on a long quest.
Lonely Quest.
A lonely quest, sorry. A quest for a shining planet known as Earth.
This is what we talked about the other day. The only other thing we did was I gave up a line, most of a line to him, to give him something to say standing up while I sit down.
As in the transition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the line doesn't, it could be either one of us that say it. The more I read that line, the more I go with that scene, it's either one of us could say that
And
line.
it kind of lends itself too to Orin's discovery.
Yes.
You know, if he can appreciate the fact that Ibley did us a favor.
Yes. Then
You
he's
know,
matured enough and he's ready to
moved
take
on.
on the mantle of responsibility, and Adama recognizes that, and Adama sits and says, okay, now all I have to worry about is the periphery. How's our newest refugee doing?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he'd probably have a problem with that.
Okay, good, because I like that change.
He's gonna yell, "That's it! I'm done! All that money down the toilet!"
I think mostly, he's concerned about major story plots
Yeah.
being altered and, but
Well,
small
this is kind of a story
things like
plot
that.
in a way when we see a transition from where now you see Adama giving up the mantle here, just
Like,
Yeah, but,
perhaps
I mean-
if I wanted to add a musical number, that probably wouldn't go up.
like that.
The Galactica, what a show.
Yeah.
The Galactica, way to go!
oh god.
But they have to know that we can't protect them if they leave the fleet. They have to know that the only salvation we have is to find the lost 13th colony, to find Earth.
To them, the warriors are a symbol of their suffering. Oh, I've heard the talk throughout the fleet about how it was the warriors whose fanaticism caused us to lose any chance for peace at Simtar. And we reaped a bitter harvest as a consequence.
How much time does it take for them to give up their programming or stop hating or whatever? Yeah, well, I always liked launching from the fleet because it gave me a chance to get away from home.
Right.
But now with all this that's happening, am I even going to have a home to come back to?
Yeah, I agree.
And that just kind of, it takes it and
A full
sort
circle.
of refocuses.
Yeah, refocus it back. Because your line, I mean,
Absolutely.
the line up there, it says, we're talking about, remember your history, how many bloodless decades were there?
Mm.
Well, there weren't that many bloodless decades
None.
in the 1,000-Year War. In fact, they kept reappearing time after time and time until they came back. I like the plague of locusts because all these biblical, there's so many quick biblical references in here that you can't not help but notice them.
Yeah.
Cobalian text. I love that word. Jason, on page 51, I absolutely hate that line right there.
Which one?
Right here. Listen
Okay,
right here.
yeah, just cut it.
Wait, I don't want to just cut it. I just want to change it.
Okay. Okay.
Well, no, wait, no, I can't cut it because it affects your line.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
just take the whole page.
Yeah. Okay. And you know this whole scene, you know, with the you know the whole thing with the hologram, done to death. Let's just get rid of it.
Okay,
Let's see.
on the closing scene,
Yeah.
that ambrosia. Who drinks ambrosia? Let's have some scotch.
Yeah. Scotch and water. Yeah, is that? Did they have? Yeah. Okay. I guess they.
They had to have scotch.
Something we could call it, you know, scooch or something.